Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be doing something different. Now throughout most of my channel, I have uploaded videos of actual figures made by actual companies and not third-party companies. But today I decided to step into the third-party market and I'll see if I'll stay there or get out of the third-party market today. Because today I am reviewing my first ever third-party Jurassic World figure. And from out most of the internet, I've heard high praises about one company in specific, being Nanmu. Nanmu? Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying it correct. But yeah, I looked at Nanmu, looked at some of their figures, and I decided to pick up two of their figures, being the Indominus Rex and the Indoraptor. So yeah, here's the Indominus Rex. It arrived, and first thoughts on it is, it looks very good. I'm very intrigued to see how the actual figure in box, out of the box will look like. So yeah, box overall, okay, it looks okay. It looks nice art image of the Indominus Rex, very nice. However, weird name, they gave it a weird name. I know they can't use Indominus Rex because Universal owns that name. However, I'm wondering why couldn't they have used iRex, as most companies use iRex that are third party and it's okay. But yeah, Berserker, Empress, a bit of a weird name, but yeah. Of course, Chinese on the box. If you know what this actually means, please tell me in the comments section down below, or if it just means Berserker Empress, that's what I'm guessing it means. This is 2.0. I'm guessing that this is the second version they've made of the Indominus Rex. I'm not so sure, but yeah. On the side of the box, some images of the figure. At the back of the box, another image of the figure. At the side, some Japanese or Chinese shit, I don't know. And then at the top, nothing really other than some more Chinese or Japanese. So yeah, without further ado and wasting your time, let's get into this figure, which I am very intrigued to see if it's good or bad. Okay, so here we have the Nanmu Indominus Rex out of the box, and wow, it is very good. It is very good. However, having said that, it is not perfect. However, it is very close to being perfect. Just a couple of minor nitpicks there and there. But let's get into what comes with this figure first. Let's get into that. Sorry, not the details. So, as you can see, one of the things it comes with is a stand, which is really used to hold up the figure, and that's its only purpose other than to hold up the figure. So yeah, that there. And it also comes with strange, it comes with three hands, one pair of hands and one hand that allows it to like go onto the ground. It's strange that they only gave us one of this instead of two, but it's not that much of a deal. But yeah, very nicely sculpted. These are the more aggressive hands. This hand is, I think, mainly in reference to that one scene with Zack and Gray, I forgot, the kids from the first Jurassic World film, and they were in the gyrosphere, I think. And then this one's just more of an aggressive grabbing hand, so yeah. And then, of course, it comes with the normal hands. It comes with pre-installed is the relaxed hands. So, now that we've gone through the contents of the box, let's get through the details. First of all, the paint application on this figure is phenomenal. It looks very good. It looks very close to the one in the movie. Just a couple nitpicks there and there, such as some areas the shade of white is slightly off-putting, like around the back of the leg, around the tail around this part, it's weird because here it starts off, hold on, I don't know if you can see it, but here it starts off with like a black wash of black here, and then over here it's like white, and then over here it's gray, and then it's gray again, so it's a bit confusing over there. But yeah, the head sculpt looks phenomenal. Oh, it looks incredible. Even, I don't know if you can see it, but they painted the eye perfectly. It looks beautiful. And overall, the jaw is just incredible. The type of flesh tone they gave the membrane and the mouth, it's very awesome. I really dig the way Nanmu did it, and even the teeth. Yeah, the teeth look incredible. Like each single teeth is painted slightly different from one another. Like there's some clean white, some dirty yellow, some black teeth. It's very good. I really do like the way this figure looks. And yeah, I would say it looks 100% accurate. And actually, one thing I didn't realize until I bought this figure is that it doesn't have asymmetrical horns on the head. As you can see here, there's two horns, but if you look closely, one is longer than the other. And that apparently is film accurate. I just checked the other day using Jurassic World Evolution 2, and yeah, that is accurate. And I didn't know that at all. I didn't know that was a thing the entire time. So yeah, it was very nice knowing that. Yeah. Now, articulation. Now, sorry, before we get into articulation, one minor nitpick with the body. It is good. However, I think it would have done better with a longer tail, like a way longer tail. Because right now, the tail to body ratio is kind of a bit short. And because of that, if you remove this stand, like you try your best, I'm trying my best to pose, but you have to make him really like kind of stand up. But if you put him in like a neutral pose, yeah, it kind of falls off. It can't really hold that weight well. So yeah, it will droop forward, unfortunately. So I think it would have been better if Nanmu made it a longer tail, but it is what it is. It can stand in like a tall, well, just now it did it, but now it's not. Okay, but yeah, it can stand in like a standing pose, so that is good. I do like that you can do that. However, if you want it in like a running pose, or like a just him standing normally, you're unfortunately gonna need to use the stand, which is gonna be a bit ugly on the display, but it is what it is. But yeah, other than the tail being slightly shorter than what it's supposed to be from the film, I think this figure is perfect overall. It looks very good. And yeah, good job to Nanmu. And I definitely think if you were to display this next to some of the Hammond collection figures, it will look out of place because of how good it looks. Unfortunately, my opinion for Hammond collection is that they don't look the best. They look good sculpting wise, but paint application wise it's a bit mixed sometimes. But yeah, overall, it looks perfect. Now let's get into the articulation. Articulation on this figure is not bad. It's actually pretty decent. So first of all, I'm gonna go through the head first. This is how much you can open the jaw. It's not bad, so you can get it in a roaring pose. However, one weird decision they made is the articulation for the tongue. So I don't know. Oh, something fell in my room. But I don't know if you can tell, but the ball joint for the tongue, there is a ball joint for the tongue. It's in the middle of the tongue. It's not at the back of the tongue, the ball joint, which is what usually toy companies do, where they put the ball joint at the back of the tongue. But instead, it's in the middle of the tongue. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't show you that well because, actually, hold on. Shit. Yeah, unfortunate. Okay, you can roughly see the ball joint there, but yeah. Oh yeah, and also warning for this figure. This figure is sharp. So if you're a kid, don't buy this because this toy, I bet if you play with it long enough, it can actually cut you. So yeah, especially the teeth are, oh my gosh, they are very sharp. But yeah, the jaw moves nice, the tongue a bit weird. I think I would have preferred it to be done better, but yeah. The head segments are all on ball joints, not ball joints. So you can get it into pretty good range. The head can be rotated very nicely. So yeah, and you can look, so in total you can look down this much and you can look up, it will droop slightly, yeah. The arms, there's wrist hinge joint on the hand over here, so you can get it into some hinge over there. And the arms are on hinge joints also. However, the arm is on a ball joint, I think, so you can get it into decent, better poses with the arm. So yeah. And then the torso, it's not really a needed articulation. You can droop the body down a bit to make it look forward slightly, but and also you can make it look left and right a bit, but it's not really necessary. The leg, you can move out, it's on a ball joint, so yeah. The leg is on a hinge joint, so oh no, the knee is on a hinge joint, sorry. So yeah, you can move the knee up and down. And then the calf, the foot, the first part of the foot anyways, is on another hinge joint. And then the feet is on another, oh no, wait, no, the foot is on a ball joint, so you can get it into some pivot. You can pivot left and right a bit. And there's also toe articulation, which is pretty neat. I don't think that was necessary, but still, this is not bad. It's not bad. And then last but not least, the tail. Unfortunately, the tail, you're not expecting SH Monstar's ball joint madness with this, but you can get into a pretty decent curve, but nothing that crazy you can do with the tail articulation, unfortunately. So yeah. So overall, articulation on this figure is pretty decent. I would say it's slightly worse than the Hammond Collection's articulation, mainly because the bendy wire tail allows you to put the figure in some dynamic poses. But yeah, overall you can put this figure into some dynamic poses. Here are some of the poses I've managed to put this figure into. So yeah, those were some of the poses I managed to put this figure into. Hopefully it looks good. But yeah, now let's get into the last part of this video, being scaling and height comparison. So, this doesn't really scale well with most of the other Jurassic World figures. This figure is unfortunately its own thing. It doesn't really scale well. It's more of around 17.5 centimeters tall. So yeah, you can make it scale with the Hammond Collection. And for an example, next to a Hammond Collection figure, I'm gonna move this forward. Here is the Spinosaurus So I'm going to, hold on. So as you can see, the Indominus Rex is supposed to be around the same height as the Spinosaurus from JP3. So unfortunately, yeah, it doesn't really scale well with the Hammond Collection figures. However, I would say this figure still scales well with some things. Now, as far as I understand, there's no Jurassic Park type merchandise like this. There was a Kickstarter, however, it got cancelled because of COVID-19. But I would say that this figure actually scales well with tabletop miniatures. As I have here Marvel Crisis Protocol Daredevil miniature that I painted myself. I think it scales perfectly with these types of figures. So if you are into tabletop miniatures, I would say this is best to display the Indominus Rex with them, as it scales very well. So yeah, overall thoughts on this figure. I think this figure is very close to being perfect. Nanmu, you have surprised me. In some places, I can see Mattel doing a better job than Nanmu. However, mainly in detailing, I think Mattel will do worse than Nanmu. So, Nanmu, I think your detailing is beautiful. Just some paint issues there and there, but I think it's just my copy, more of a QC error, I think. But yeah, it's perfect, the detailing. Articulation could be touched upon, mainly at the tail, and I would like if the head could look down a bit more, and if the torso articulation was actually useful instead of just a bit of a bend. So yeah, but other than the articulation, I think this figure is perfect. Yeah, I would give this figure a 9 out of 10. Oh yeah, and also, make the tail longer so that we don't need the stand. But yeah, other than that, this figure's perfect. I definitely recommend you picking this up. I got this while I was on a trip, a holiday trip to Thailand. I went there to the Jurassic World exhibition, and while I was there, I managed to find this figure. If I'm not wrong, this figure goes for around 100 Singapore dollars, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so I think you can find it. I think it's worth 100. It's definitely better than a Hammond Collection figure. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, please tell me in the comment section down below how I can improve upon my videos. But until next time, good night, bye bye, and see you next time.